Good evening, aliens! Today we're going to be converting simple logs to exponents and back again. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at some of the similarities between logarithmic equations and exponential equations. First, we're going to look at the position known as the base. The base in a logarithmic equation is right here, that little subscript number next to the log. And the base in an exponential equation is the number that is being raised to an exponent. And if you take a look at both equations, the base here and the base here are the same number. And that will be true regardless of whatever equation you are converting. So the base here in a logarithmic equation will become the base here when converting it to an exponential equation and vice versa. The next thing you need to know is that a log is an exponent. The log equals the exponent. So let's take a look at the exponent in the exponential equation. It's right here. It's that number that the base is being raised to. And if you take a look at the logarithmic equation, you can see that the log is equal to the exponent. So knowing this, if we want to convert from log to exponential, we know that the log equals the exponent. So this number over here on the other side of the equal sign is going to become the exponent. Similarly, as the log equals the exponent, we know that the exponent equals the log. So if we're converting from exponential to logarithmic, the exponent will be set equal to the log, and it'll be all by itself on one side of the equation, set equal to the log. As for this letter y, called the argument, you can remember that the argument in a logarithmic equation becomes the equal to in an exponential equation, or you can just go ahead and put this guy and this guy where they need to go and just plop the y in, the leftover space, because that's the only place where it could go. Now, we're gonna look at some example problems that you'll probably find on your homework. So here's example problem 1, and we are converting from log to exponent. So let's set up just some blanks for an equation, and then we'll fill in the numbers. So this is our base to the exponent equals something. Okay, so the first thing we know is that the log equals the exponent. So this right here must be the exponent, and we'll put it right here in that little blank we made for the exponent. So the exponent is 2. Next, we know that the base in a log equation is the same as the base in an exponential equation, so we'll just drop that right down here. Lastly, you either know that the argument goes at the end, or you know that it goes in the last blank space. Either way, that's where you're going to put it. And so our new exponential equation is 5 squared equals 25. Let's do one more example of converting from logarithms to exponential equations. So here we have log 3 of 27 equals 3. So what's the first thing we need to remember? Log equals exponent. So our number 3 is the exponent, so I'll set up another blank equation, and our 3 is our exponent, so it's going right here. Next, we know that the base in a logarithmic equation is the same as the base in an exponential equation, so this number 3 is going here. Finally, we know that the argument, either we know that it goes to the end, or you just remember that it goes in the last blank space, and that leaves you with 3 cubed equals 27. And that is true. Now, we're going to convert from exponential to log. So here we have 2 to the 5th power equals 32. So I'm going to set up a blank equation, log to the blank base of blank equals blank. And I'm going to go ahead and write that smaller so it looks right. So the first thing we know is that log equals the exponent, and the exponent is right here. So log equals the exponent is going to go on the other side of the equation, the other side of the equal sign. Now we know that the bases are always the same, so we have a base 2 here. That's going to mean a base 2 here for the log. And lastly, we have the argument, which goes in the blank spot right over here. So we have log 2 of 32 equals 5. Another way to think of it is 2 to the what power equals 32? Well, 2 to the 5th power equals 32. We'll do one more example and then you'll be free. We have 4 to the 6th power equals 4096. So let's set up a blank equation, log to the blank base of blank equals something. So first we know that the log equals the exponent, so this blank is the exponent, and that means that this exponent over here, 6, is going to get moved over here. Big 6. Now we know that the base in a log equation is the same as the base in an exponential equation, so that base is going to get moved over here. So log base 4 of, and then the argument, which goes in the last blank, so log base 4 of 4096 equals 6. One last thing, April Fool's is coming up. Don't think you're safe just because there's a screen separating us. I will be pranking you. Goodbye.